I have another video which will be listed in the video description and linked at the end on how to prepare a stained clay body, how you mix the stain. So check that out if you'd like to see how to do it before this. Now, I'm going to start off by centering this, and I do have the video at a double speed here just to save us a little bit of time. I have some specific videos on throwing bowls where I do go step by step, but here I'm doing a little bit of coning and then centering of the clay. You want to make sure it's very, very centered before you drop the middle. And then once you do have it centered, you're going to drop the middle, and I'm pulling it open and creating a rounded interior since this is a bowl. And then I'll pull up on the wall to thin it. And as I'm pulling up the walls and thinning the walls of this bowl, I do want to make one point, and that is whenever you are wedging, say, two different balls together, like the colored clay and the non-colored clay, the clay does have to be the same consistency or the same dryness. If you have one of those hunks, which is drier or stiffer than the other, you will have inconsistencies as you're throwing. So, again, I have that other video you can check out to see how I stain the clay and everything, but I do try to keep the clay fairly consistent in moisture there. And FYI, this is also a different bowl than I showed at the very, very beginning. I think I sold this bowl prior to making the video, or finalizing the video, so I didn't have that to show. Now, once you have the bowl thinned, edges even, and trimmed if necessary, then I will be scraping away the slip, because as you can see, there's a lot of slip. So I do like the small MudTools rib is what I'm using. You can use whatever you like, but I like that stainless steel edge to scrape away slip. Once the bowl is thrown, and I scrape away the slip in the interior and the exterior, revealing the layers or the striations of the marbled clay. And I'm going to use a notched rib to scrape the rim. Okay. And then I will let this dry, and I will trim and then add the faceting. For this wide low bowl that I've thrown, I'm going to be trimming the foot pretty much as wide as I can based on the clay that I have there. I don't have a lot that I need to trim away. And then I will be faceting the exterior, so I will be using a loop tool to facet it like this. I establish the exterior of the foot by bracing both hands together. I allow my left hand to sit on the base of the bowl, and I go straight down from the bottom to establish the outside. Then I'll trim up the side a little bit. now that I have the exterior trimmed, I'm going to go down to make the inside of the foot. So if you take your tool and go straight down from the top, you should have an even foot inside and outside. I don't take my tool and carve in from the exterior, I always carve down from the top. There's not a ton of thickness here, so I'm not going to take off that much. Now that I have everything trimmed, I'm going to just compress the very base of the foot with my finger. That makes the foot ring just a little bit softer, so if I have, say, grog in the foot, I've now compressed it up in there so it won't be as likely to scratch my table. And there we go. That's trimming the foot ring on the marbled bowl. Now I'm ready to put it aside and facet it. Now that I have the bowl trimmed, I'm going to be doing some faceting on it with the round end of the loop tool. And to do that, I just really kind of treat it as if I'm, say, peeling a potato. I kind of place my thumb a little bit lower and just use the action of pulling my fingers toward it. It allows me to really control it. So you can see by faceting this, you carve through the various layers of the marbled clay and you can get a really nice effect. The effect becomes more noticeable, especially in the areas where maybe it's white on the exterior and you carve through and you're revealing all that blue on the inside, which is quite nice. You always want to do this when this is rather hard, too sticky, and it's difficult and it requires cleanup, too dry, and it just doesn't grab the clay as well. Okay, and there we go. There's a marbled, faceted bowl ready for drying. I can now flip it upside down and allow it to dry.